A shin show.
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 A shin show. Well, welcome to A Shin Show. You've heard the intro. It's fabulous. It's produced. We're trying to do some more produced stuff around here. I mean, what do you all think of that? Do you think, oh, by the way, it's Nick, Sara, and Elsie, spouse, son, and
Noah.
daughter. And is Noah here?
I see a thing that says Noah here.
Noah. Well,
Well, it says it actually says Noah's toaster is what it says. But
It's nice that we're being joined by Noah's toaster today.
he's got that fucking toaster up on his hip. You know what I'm saying?
I know it, man. And his toaster communicates with the internet, obviously. So we'll wait for him to join because I'm sure that ultimately he will figure out how to actually plug in. Why did you rub your forehead like that?
I have a good idea. We'll talk about it later. It just came to me. I'm writing it down right now.
Okay.
Smart.
That's just smart. Hey,
Hey,
son,
can you
yeah.
Might be from Noah.
can you give me that text that you just got?
Can I get who, me?
Oh, yeah. She must
Yeah.
be logging into your shit.
She is. It's fine.
We'll edit that out.
Hacking in now.
Yeah, just
Okay.
just bleep that out.
Yeah, I will. I'll bleep it out. Yeah. So you're hacking into our shit. Noah's still trying to get in. And so what do you think about the increased production values of the show? I mean, is it too self-referential to ask that question?
I do know that I got a little bit of feedback from it.
Really?
From who and what was it?
From regular listener Danielle. And
How
she
bad
said,
was it?
She said she about damn near spit her drink out her nose when she heard your New Zealand accent. Which,
Nice.
by the way, she corrected me and said that was very Australian.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, you know what?
Yes.
What do you want? They're all the same anyway.
Everyone's a critic, you know? Look, hey, New Zealand and Aussie.
Can you guys hear me?
Now
Yeah.
we can.
Finally, yeah.
Okay, there we go.
And welcome. Glad your toaster's working.
Yeah, thank you. It is a toaster.
And it sounds like it. So we
Oh,
were just
good.
discussing the production values of the show. Have you heard any of the bits, Noah? Have you listened at all?
Not at all whatsoever.
I know that's a lot of work. And it is time, of course, for some personal news. News that's personal to us. So, no, it's not time for that?
I mean, it might be, but don't start with me, is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. We're going to wrap up with you because your news is intense. It's very intense. Shall we start with me? I've had vertigo for the last few days. And so I've been kind of tottering around because the room is always spinning because apparently some piece of calcium fell off in my inner ear. I have that from time to time. Very annoying. Very annoying.
I just thought he was getting old.
That too. But also, you two, it's not as fun as it sounds. I mean, cute song and all, but vertigo is not fun.
No, it's not. I don't recommend it. So don't have that happen to you kids. And how you avoid it is you can't avoid it. It just happens.
Yeah, I mean,
Dope.
that is a thing. So, like, I lost all this weight, right? And it fucked with my blood pressure, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
And so now if I crouch for more than like about 17 seconds and stand up, I almost pass out.
Oh, that's bad.
It's not quite the same as vertigo, but, you know.
Do you ever do it on purpose?
No, because I don't like passing out.
Yeah, that's probably good. Congratulations on not doing that. Good.
Yeah, there's a trend in like 2014 or something where like all the cool kids in my neighborhood you'd stand up against a wall and breathe really hard, and then they'd press in on your chest so you could pass out.
Yeah, kids like asphyxiating themselves from time to time.
Yeah,
At least it's not the
time to
autoerotic
time.
kind.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, not yet.
Right. You got to experiment
That's how
first.
it starts.
it's a little healthier than huffing gas or glue, but not much, you know? So I think it's a healthy alternative.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll get a buddy.
Yeah, so we're going to save Elsie's personal news for last. So, Nick, do you want to go or Noah, do you want to go?
I got laid off
On purpose,
new
though. You should
medication.
say on purpose.
for health reasons.
Yeah.
What's
So
wrong
they're,
with you?
They're looking to cut back. What's wrong with me? I got a fucked up hip, a fucked up back, a possible psychiatric problems, and I gotta clean my fucking room. That's what's wrong. God damn, it's so hard.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, well, you know what? Sometimes you got to get laid off to do that.
Yeah, honestly. It's almost done though.
Sounds like it's been a good move.
Excellent. The best move.
All right, smart.
Perfect.
All right, well, great. So Noah's gotten laid off in order to clean his room and deal with his numerous physical and psychiatric problems. Is that a fair statement?
That's a perfect statement.
All right, fantastic. Well, that's great news.
Well, stay tuned. We might have a cure for what ails you later on in the show.
We might, that's true. Or we might not. And so let's talk about Sarah's personal news.
Yeah, so I know recently I talked about the fact that we were going to buy all new furniture for the house.
Yes.
Well, we nixed that idea.
Oh, I see.
And instead, we're just going to revamp the home theater area.
Revamp
Because-
it. What do you mean by revamp it?
Well, they're getting
Uh,
a $4,000 new TV, I'm sure.
No, that's the thing, is that we decided instead to go with a $2,000 projector because we
What?
already have a projector set up down there.
I
Yeah.
see.
That's smart.
So we're just renovating, I guess, the area down there. And I bought a whole new sound system
Yeah.
because the previous owners had a sound system. So like the wiring's already done through the walls and stuff. So that was cool.
That's money.
Dope.
Yep. Except I can't read the labels. I can't quite figure that out. So that was me cursing and fumbling 15 minutes before the show when Dad called and interrupted the very delicate process. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And yeah, I haven't actually bought the projector yet. But once I figure out this whole sound thing, it's going to sound pretty dope down there.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, Sarah. Why can't you read the labels? Are they in some foreign language? Are they faded? Or they just don't make any sense?
Yeah.
All of that.
I see.
Hieroglyphics. They're in hieroglyphics.
I'm just slightly too short to read them at a perfect level because the chair that I have down there puts me about 2 inches too short to read them properly, and I
Right.
refuse to go get the ladder because then I have to haul it down 3 flights of stairs and set it up, and I'll whack my head, and I don't want to. So there's that, and then there's like front stuff. Perfect, got it, not a problem. But then there's 2 sets of rear surround, and I don't know what goes to what. And my receiver doesn't have 2 sets of rear; it only has the 1 set. So anyway, it's that. Yeah.
Yeah,
This whole
Murph
thing.
texted me. It was like, you know anything about sound systems? We're struggling. I'm like, if Sarah can't do it, you know I can't do it. I'm just going to fucking get tangled up in the wires.
You know who's good with wires? Noah.
Well, unfortunately, being in Gainesville has its disadvantages relative to wiring sound systems for sure. But we wish you luck on that. You know, we really do, Sarah. And I think you're going to triumph. I really do. But you know what it sounds like it to me anyway? It sounds like your new sound system could use a pretty serious disclaimer. Hi, I'm Zeke Sloper of the quasi-legal firm Sloper, Purvis & Crunch. We are the undisputed leaders in writing disclaimers for all the economically vital, yet legally questionable businesses across this great nation of ours, like those you've grown to love on America's most popular podcast, A Shin Show. Are you trying to start up your own mom-and-pop orphan rental service, but can't seem to navigate those pesky child labor laws? Fret no more! With a bulletproof disclaimer from Sloper, Tookus, and Crunch, you are all but absolved of any and all legal ramifications of your business model. Are you being hounded by lawyers because of your up-and-coming human blood-based nutritional supplements? There's no need to spend another dime on legal counsel with an ironclad disclaimer from Sloper, Eyeball, and Crunch protecting you from any case the DA may or may not be compiling against you. We understand your complete disregard for human life may have kept you from getting that certification from trade school, but it doesn't stop you from being a good electrician. And just because a jury of your so-called peers thought differently doesn't mean we won't draft you up the old Sloper, Toe Jam, and Crunch special, making the difference between a hefty fine and a negligent homicide charge. Many disclaimer writing firms claim to be the best. We don't. So our edge is our price. We'll write any disclaimer for just $99.95. Mention a Shin Show for an extra $5 off. So come on down to our office next to the dumpster behind the Steak and Shake and let us write the perfect disclaimer for you.
Not a solicitation for legal services or legal advice. Sloper, Mangrove, and Crunch are not licensed to practice law and have not passed the bar in any U.S. state, territory, or commonwealth. The preceding message offers no warranties or guarantees, express or implied. No disclaimer can shield you from serious legal consequences, either civil or criminal. Not affiliated with the Shin Show, Shinfluence, and their officers, employees, or listeners.
Anyway, moving on. My personal news is nothing.
That's not true. You have personal news.
Actually, I do. Well, not really.
What do you mean, not really? It's undeniably personal news.
Okay, I do have personal news, but it's just like boring as fuck. You know, like
And I don't think so.
I would not subject it. Well, you don't think so because you're kind of chemically inclined not to think so. You're my dad, you know, so you're interested in my movements
and your activities, your
all
whereabouts.
All I did was cut grass. I just cut a few lawns the other day. But that place I used to work at, Urban Air, is opening back up on the 22nd of June.
Yeah, are you participating in Urban Air's grand reopening with a mask and trampoline?
I guess
and-
so. I guess.
You don't sound too happy about it.
Is this the
Yeah.
Chinese thing all over again, except this time with shitty little kids?
Well, no, because I'm not serving, so there's that. And the people who are my bosses are actually my friends and actually care about me. So
Yeah, you know,
that makes me more inclined to do this for them, you know?
well, I'll tell you, a combination of deep cleaning and masks and proper social distancing really does seem to prevent the spread of the virus.
Right, but kids are not gonna be social distancing in the fucking ball pit, dude. What do you think? You think I'm just gonna have to walk up there with my fucking plague doctor mask and the old cane and just fucking use a cane
Just
to
get all
separate
the balls
kids?
out, wash them down.
See, now
each child.
it's funny
The
you say
cane
that because
through
they
the
did
belt
that.
loops.
They took every fucking ball out of the ball pit. Tyree, who's the manager there, also my friend, was like, dude, that was the most frustrating shit of my life. It took us like 3 weeks to clean that ball pit. And now we're just we can't do that every night. Like, it's not possible to do it every night. And yet, like, there's going to be, kids in that motherfucking ball pit.
Yeah, here's what you do about that, though. You stir up some Lysol and the ball. You just spray the balls with Lysol and keep stirring the ball pit as you spray it with Lysol.
Yeah, like a cauldron.
Yeah,
like cauldron.
Yeah, like a witch's brew of Lysol and little tiny plastic balls that kids can fall into.
It's going to be really fun having kids' birthday parties in full plague doctor gear. Like,
oh my gosh, yes.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Well, for
I
you,
think-
yeah.
Yeah, I think kids
Can you
are going
do
to be...
like a young Frankenstein type tap dance while you're doing it?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
sure.
really want to bring plague doctor masks back.
Oh,
we
I
can
think
do
you
that.
should.
Could we not do that? And
Well,
also, we can
we
make
can
them
make it
work
happen.
too. Like back in the day when plague doctors were wearing those you know what I'm talking about, right? Those fucking bird
Yeah.
masks.
Yeah,
Of
it looked
course.
like a fucking
What?
Yeah,
hawk bill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hawkbill. Yes, exactly.
yeah. They didn't work obviously because it was just a funny shape on people's faces. But you could make a funny shape and put like some kind of filtration system in there and also a voice modulator just to be as creepy as possible. No.
Actually, they did kind of work, and all the herbs in there prevented it from getting through too much, and that's kind of like where essential oils and some of those things have taken off from.
Well, like there was like holes at the end of them, right? So like, yeah, so the fucking all that snot and shit was hitting your beak. It wasn't going straight up the fucking nose.
Yep.
Well,
But-
yeah, I mean, they were masks. They were functional masks. Sure, yeah. I'm just saying, like, they didn't, that's not going to stop you from getting the Black Plague, is it? And if it
Well, I
is,
mean-
then let's bring them fuckers back, dude.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's
You know what
fucking
I
do
say,
it.
Nick?
I want to bring it back.
Yeah,
Be the
okay.
change you want to see in the world, Nick.
Okay, well, I
So
need
poetic.
I guess what I'm saying is I need money and some kind of distribution center. If you guys got any leads on that.
Nick, I thought we were talking specifically about the trampoline outfit. I think we could hook you up with that so that you would be the masked face of death to the youngsters as they
The
come to jump on
trampoline
the
outfit.
trampoline.
It's
Yeah.
funny you say that because Tyree was talking about how, like, I guess there's a trampoline guild, like I don't know, some sort of collective cabal of trampoline enthusiasts who have some kind of legal sway over all trampoline enterprises.
Like a union almost.
No, it's not a union.
Is it a community organization? A community organization of trampoline enthusiasts?
I'm trying to remember what he called it. No, it's like
No, wait a minute. I know what it is.
no,
It's
there's like a board of like people who administrate the
Trampolines.
goings on. Well, you guys, this doesn't just exist in the
The Department
trampoline
of
world.
Trampoline Review.
No, it's like that. It's like some kind of weird fucking legal body of trampoline people.
Trampoline
weird.
inspectors.
It's like
They're
our
more than
fire code.
inspectors. It's like a
right?
guild, dude. It's weird. It's something you would never think actually exists, but it does. Trampoline.
So are we
people.
saying that
Trampoline
Peter should do
OSHA.
this in retirement?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like Tyree was talking about, we got all the regulations now that we have in this trampoline park, and at the behest of this shadowy trampoline legion, it's calling the shots. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking? Is this real, dude? He's like, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's the National Association of Trampoline-Related Business Owners. Natterbo is what that's Natterbo is what they go
Yeah,
by.
okay. Now I know
Why
you
do
didn't
you
need to
know
jerk
that?
Around. No.
He's
making this up.
making it up.
I am making it up, but it makes perfect sense that Natterbo would be a thing. They probably have Washington D.C. office with a lot of high-powered lobbyists that are talking to lawmakers all the time about the benefits of trampolining to the health and youth of our country and how they're
Trampoline subsidies.
trampoline subsidies. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing, deregulation of trampolines.
There's a whole organization of deregulating the trampoline industry. agree.
It's so true. I mean, keep government out of our trampolines. Am I right? We don't want the
Privatized trampoline mercenary companies.
If
Right.
we want to hold AK-50 and whatever's, I don't know, guns while we jump on trampolines, you can't stop us.
No, you can't. So I would just say, hey, get the heavy hand of government out of our
God damn it.
trampolines. Am I right? I think that's really what the whole message of this particular segment is.
This fucking cat that I have, I'm sorry to interrupt, just keeps like climbing up my fucking leg. I'm wearing shorts, dude. It's just mutilating me as we speak.
And
That's
this
some more personal news is that I don't never get to sleep because of this kitten. That's just gone now.
And this is Ketchup the kitten, correct?
Yes.
So this is interesting. Both of my sons, both Nick and Noah, are 2 cat owners now.
That's correct.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I had to get a little companion for Mustard, but Mustard don't see it that way. He's angry. He's
Yeah.
pissed. He's gone through a lot of things, actually. He's gone through his depressed stage where he just sits in one corner all day and night, just facing the corner. I'm like, dude, stop being such a little drama queen. Nothing is different, This is
Yeah.
still, you're being a little bitch right now.
Yeah, well,
But that was after active murderous rage, though.
That's the best stage.
Yeah,
Right.
that was the scary stage. But he got over that. Now I think we're good to leave him alone.
That actually does remind me of a bit of our personal news that we did not, previously discuss, which is that Thursday night, as we're going to bed, Ginger, the declawed cat, wanted to go out the front door. I said, all right, see you later, bitch. And Peter said, oh, she doesn't have claws. Are you sure that's safe? I was like, yeah, it's fine. She's done it before. We're good.
cares.
I know, right? So sweet. And then Fatso, the famous Catso, went out the back door. So we go to bed. We're cool. We're excited because at 6 a.m. there's not going to be the sound of little paws and little angry voices at our door wanting us to get up and feed them, right? So it's a win. 2:30 a.m. rolls around and we hear "Rawr!" thump, 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 "Rawr!" like right at our window on the deck.
yeah, like bloody
like
cat
bloody
murder.
fucking murder.
Yeah.
Come down to the door. Lily's with me, bolts out into the yard, barking her head off, clearly chasing something away. Fatso the Catso is just sitting on the porch railing like, yeah, this happens every night. And Ginger is nowhere to be found. Call for her, nothing. Turn around and realize there is liquid spatter all over the
Jesus.
deck and up on the walls. And so I'm like, well, now I got to investigate what the fuck this is. So find out it's urine, not blood. So I instantly can only assume that like a fox came up, grabbed Ginger, shook the piss out of her, and went running off with her, right? So I'm very upset.
Yeah.
Peter
'cause-
warned me I'm going to kill my cat. And I'm
And-
like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not going to kill my cat. It's cool.
and now
It's
the
cool.
cat is apparently dead.
Yeah, now the cat's dead, right? Half an hour later, we're still awake because I'm very upset about this cat. Brad walks in the door from having been at Hattie's, in the front door, mind you, and who walks in with him? Ginger, like she's been having the time of her fucking life.
Well, she definitely spent one of her lives.
But she's in perfect condition.
Was it her or was it Fatso that chased off whatever it was that tried to shake Fatso around?
When a fox grabs a cat and shakes it around, it doesn't shake the piss out of it, It shakes the bones out of it. There would be
The
blood,
life,
If a
yeah.
fox got a hold of a cat, there would be blood everywhere.
Actually, if it was one chomp, then all the blood would go in the fox's mouth and the piss would spray out because when you die, your sphincter's all loose. But nothing happened to either cat. So we don't know what the fuck happened, why there's this piss all over our deck, or what Lily chased away. It's a mystery.
Yeah, it is. It could be an alien, could be an opossum, could be a raccoon, could be any number of wild creatures.
Did you just say opossum?
I said
Yes.
opossum, yes.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah,
so that's-
at my old house at Pinckney, right across the street, there's a foreclosed house. Been foreclosed the entire time I lived there and still to this day. Now, that didn't stop the guy who used to live there, this meth head named Gary, from coming around every once in a while and just being there, just
Yeah.
fucking with the property and shit, even though the door was boarded up. He would just be like, pick up some garbage, put it in this pile of garbage over here.
right. And so he
Dude,
wasn't.
one time he accosted me, and he was talking about how this is how I knew he was on meth, because the shit he was saying was just. He's like, I only use 8-track cassettes in my car because CDs, iPods will give you brain cancer. Oh, this fucking cat, dude.
All right, anyway, so the
Anyway,
point-
dude, none of that is the point. The point is they're underneath this guy's foreclosed house. it was a fucking some sort of animal gladiator arena. Like every single night, as soon as the sun went down, dude, I'd go out there to smoke a cigarette, and some shit was going down between multiple animals underneath that house. Weird,
Nice.
crazy snarls and fucking huffing and puff. I could not tell you.
Are you
what
sure it wasn't
animals they
meth
were.
heads?
Are you
It could
sure?
have been. Could have been. I guess. Yeah.
He did
Could've
say
been a couple of-
animals.
You did.
That's fair.
All right.
But
Well,
there was, always ended in some sort of horrible cry. And then you just hear like some ripping every fucking night, dude. Me and my roommate would just be out there like, Jesus Christ.
Well,
Trying to shine a light under there, but we got scared.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's smart. Smart that you backed away from that. Well, I'm glad that, you survived that. I'm glad that Ginger and Fatso survived their experience outdoor with whatever encounter that they actually had. And, so we're all here to tell the tale. But you know what? Elsie really didn't get to her personal news.
Well, it's not really my personal news so much, but we'll all remember from last week when I mentioned that my ex-neighbor, Jen, who's the crazy lawyer type and will just cut a bitch just for fun, also hates the neighbors that we've now discovered are racist. So I might have recommended her to our neighbor who's being discriminated against. And so Jen maybe got a little drunk on wine last Friday, which is always a bad idea for her. And then she might have started texting all the racist neighbors all sorts of horrendous things, very, very directly attacking them and their lifestyles and everything about them.
Yeah.
So she's had to delete her social media and just go quiet. But she's got the suit all
The
written
lawyer
up.
did this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's got a little bit of personal vendetta against these particular people. But the point is, she shouldn't need any of the legal stuff that she has prepared at this point, because I think she has scared those bitches into submission. And I think Kimmy is safe for quite some time.
Bottom line, former neighbor went apeshit via text on some other neighbors. It's
But she's a
neighborhood
lawyer,
drama.
so
It's a very funny story if I could repeat all the horrendous things she said, but they might even be more horrendous than I feel like I can repeat.
Yeah.
these whole thing, all this drama in your guys' neighborhood is like a fucking WWE arc. You know what I
It
mean?
really is. But it's all the ladies.
Right. The dudes are like, we're cool with each other, right?
Well, except that one bitch-ass cop who was like, "Oh no, don't put Black
Oh, no,
Lives
no.
Matter
He's
signs."
not in our little area. He's
No.
way up on the other end of the neighborhood.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
he's there.
he is.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so that's Elsie's personal news, is that we had a former neighbor just kind of go ape on this vendetta. So, neighborhood stuff. It's the kind of things you have in American neighborhoods. Nothing to be too alarmed about.
Drama.
Yeah, you have drama.
Drama's fun
Wine
when you're
drama.
watching it,
Yeah, it is. So
especially wine drama. Yeah.
wine related in the
Yes.
suburbs in particular. Yeah,
Yeah, some people just shouldn't have it.
that's true. All right. So you know what else some people shouldn't have? They shouldn't have orphans at their disposal. They shouldn't have that.
Why not? I think it's a great idea.
Well, if you do have orphans, boy, I got a place you can take them.
Orphans have all kind of utilities that no one thinks about. You know what I mean?
It's true. Yeah, we're going to hear all about that now.
Hey there, folks. It's your old pal Daryl Scraunch coming to you live from Daryl's super wacky combination orphanage and auto body shop. I was sitting back in the trusty lawn chair watching the little gremlins use their tiny hands to bore out some carburetors when a message from the muses made its way to my head. 2 bottles of wild turkey later, and I'm here to tell you about my exciting new work release program. Introducing Daryl's Orphan Rental service. Do you find yourself never having the grease of correct viscosity to squeeze into those hard-to-reach places? Are your gnarled hands just too big to fit into the small infested holes in the crawl spaces you've been hired to bug bomb? Have you dropped expensive jewelry down a really small hole that opens up into an impossibly complicated subterranean cave system? Your old pal Daryl has you covered with his affordable orphans. For only $100 a day, you can have your very own tiny laborer for all your claustrophobic needs. It might sound a little pricey, but what price can you put on complete and legal circumvention of all child labor laws? So make sure you stop by Daryl's super wacky combination orphanage and auto body shop right across the street from the medical waste dump.
Use of any of the services provided by Daryl's Super Wacky Combination Orphanage and Auto Body Shop are subject to significant legal liability due to his flagrant violation of child labor laws, which can neither be circumvented nor avoided. Daryl Scraunch is in no way affiliated with any legitimate businesses and is not certified to provide auto body services. Shin Show Management has notified relevant child protection services officials about the conditions of children at Daryl's Super Wacky Combination Orphanage and Auto Body Shop and hereby disavows the contents of the preceding advertisement.
Although on another note, not all, you don't have to be an orphan to have tiny hands, just children in general.
That's true. But somehow orphans' hands are smaller. Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah, it's the
The
hopelessness.
undernourishment.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
malnourishment and general era of despair.
Yeah,
The
that's
phys-
true.
The physical and emotional malnourishment. You know?
And I should know because I was an orphan.
You do have small hands for a man.
I do.
I do too. Is that where I got it from? Must be.
Yeah,
Yes,
you got.
it's definitely.
And you weren't even an orphan.
Yeah, you're
No.
right. That orphan stuff can be inherited, can be passed on to your offspring.
Orphan genes, just like clown genes.
I never heard of
Breed
clown
with
genes.
women who have clown-like qualities. You will make a little small clown.
But
Is
what
that a
about the
fact?
men who have qualities?
Well, of course, the man has to be two people of clown-like quality.
To produce a clown?
Yeah, people with
Well-
circular noses that are like red. People with like foliage growing out of their chest that shoots water.
For example.
Aren't there rarities, rare cases where two non-clowns can breed and make a clown, kind of like with wizards?
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
Circumstantial clowns is what those are called.
I
okay.
understand. Yeah, wow, this is really informative to me. Thank you. So did you guys watch the fights last night? I got to ask that question.
No,
I see. One yes, one no. Were they any good?
They're all right. I mean,
didn't Jessica I fight last night
she did, and she lost.
against who again?
Cavillo. I can't Calvillo, and I can't remember her first
She
name.
missed weight, right? Jessica I did.
I missed weight, but not by very much. I mean, it was like a quarter pound.
That costs you
No.
though, doesn't it?
Eat
Yeah.
20% of your purse, but she lost anyway. So
Yeah.
I mean, so yes, she lost, which means her purse wasn't as big, and then she lost 20% of it
Percent of
because she
that.
lost.
She
or
didn't
missed
just
weight.
lose it; it goes to the other fighter,
Well,
right? Doesn't?
that I don't know, but I can't
doubt
tell
it.
you.
I'm pretty
that
sure if
the-
you don't make weight, 20% of your purse goes to the other fighter.
Let me tell you something. Either way, if you are the losing fighter in an undercard in a UFC bout,
You're getting fucked.
you didn't make much money. You probably only made 15, 16 grand. I saw what the payouts were after the last fight.
Yeah.
and
Hey.
I was
If you're
appalled.
the main card, if you're the main event fighter, you ain't getting paid that much, dude. Unless you're John Jones, who also, if we compare these fighters to boxers, you know what I mean? Boxers make tens of millions of dollars a fight. At least main event fighters do. At least, you know
It's
what I
true.
mean?
It is pretty horrendous how much they put their physical health for the rest of their life on the line to entertain us and get paid nothing. It's like a real
Yeah.
gladiator system.
It's
Some
not
people
really good.
have to go to work the next day and shit.
Well, think about this. Amanda Nunes, who had a dominant performance over 5 rounds, made a grand total in the headline event of that night of $450,000. That's what she made. That is highway robbery for an entertaining contest that spanned 5 rounds and put her physical health on the line in a significant way. $450,000? Are you kidding me compared to
Yeah.
what these boxers make? Oh, my gosh.
It was a good fight. Like, it was super entertaining. And you know how much money they're making. It's all Dana White's fault. He's just, Uncle
Well,
Dana's taking all the money. He's not
he's-
paying fighters.
Well, I mean, that will ultimately, I think, come back to bite him as these other attractions
Of course
like
it will.
Bellator and some others.
Or PFL. I think it's PFL. I think it's that one. You win $1 million. It's like a round robin brackets thing. Everyone signs up in brackets, and then like whoever wins that gets $1 million.
Yeah, but then you have to fight like 5-6 times to win $1 million.
Yeah, but it's not just you win money as you win those fights.
I see.
But like you're guaranteed that $1 million. Well, if you win, you're guaranteed that $1 million paycheck at the end of it all.
Well, that seems better, but still, I'm
It's
just
still
gonna,
not ideal, dude. You could pay them more or as much as boxers, at least.
Well, let me just run this by our resident expert on labor relations. Noah, what should UFC fighters do?
They should always unionize. I'm sorry, I wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah, I knew you weren't paying attention, but I just wanted that input from you.
I mean, the thing is, though, they're making huge sums of money regardless compared to, like, normal work. Like, I mean, when you're talking the disparity between a boxer's pay and $450,000, like, $450,000 is still more than the life insurance payout on a military member if they die.
That's
That
true,
is
but
true.
like the simple fact remains that there's a sport where all you put big old soft gloves on and you just hit each other in the face and body. That's it. And you will get paid millions and millions and millions of dollars per fight. And now there is another sport which is as popular, at least now, wasn't always, where you rip each other's fucking eyeballs out for 25 minutes, do everything, dude. It's just so much more dangerous, and to me, so much more entertaining.
I mean, yeah, well, they should definitely get paid more. Like, I agree with that compared to boxing, or at least it should be equal.
Yeah,
the
like
very
these
least.
people are warriors, dude, and they train. I mean, we all know this, but they train so fucking hard for so long. It's their whole life. And then, like, some of these great motherfuckers who just don't draw fights like other people, but they're still awesome fighters, like Dan Hooker or Ryan Hall. Like, Ryan Hall is a fucking monster, but nobody knows who he is. No one's, they're not going to put him as a main event fighter unless he's fighting one of these money guys. Some of these guys are still warriors. They just don't draw the fucking attention, and they don't get paid what they should.
Well, promotion's always an issue. I mean, I know that's the way it is with electricians, right, Noah? I mean, promotion is key.
What do you mean, like marketing?
Oh, yeah, marketing
I
for
mean, well,
electricians.
effective advertising is important for all business, right?
Oh, it's
I
so
mean, if
true.
nobody knows you exist. Nobody can buy your shit. I mean, that's just
Man, I really think
Exactly.
that's what we've been struggling with on the show. Don't you?
Dana
Yeah.
is a promoter, though.
Yeah. Do
Dana
you
White
think?
is a promoter.
I'm
It's a
just going to ask
promoter
this
problem.
question. I mean, forget about Dana White for a second. We all know he's a promoter. But do you think it's because that no one knows about the show? Do you think that only having 4 listeners, shout out to Chris, Ben, Danielle, and Cindy, do you think having 4 listeners only is limiting us in any way?
I mean,
No.
don't they need to do their part to spread it to other people they care about? I mean, come on. Do us a solid.
Wow.
Work for us for free now.
Well, that's a pretty good appeal right there. I mean, think about all the things that they've gotten from us. I will say this right now, which is, we already did the orphanage bit. Never mind. I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to lead back into the orphanage bit, and then I forgot we already did the orphanage bit. That's not funny.
Get your bits together.
Yeah, I do need to get my bits together.
Give
I
your
really do.
bits a tug.
Well,
I mean,
You
that's,
ball fucker.
whoa. Wow, I didn't expect that from Sarah, but I enjoyed it nevertheless. I sure did.
give your balls a time.
Okay, so what are you guys doing next week?
Going back to fucking work. Oh, dude, I forgot one more thing.
Yeah.
So every 30 minutes, they play the Cupid Shuffle, okay? And then some girl comes on. This is what Tyree tells me the fucking protocol is now. Every 30 minutes, because they're always blasting music in there,
Right, of course.
like really fucking loud.
Well, because you
And,
want a trampoline to music. That's a recommendation from the National Association of Retail Trampoline Business Owners, or NARTBO.
The Trampoline Guild. The Shadowy Trampoline Guild. The Trampoline Cabal.
Trampoline.
Anyway, every 30 minutes they play the Cupid Shuffle, gayest song in the world, and then you have to, there's some girl comes on the intercom and is like, hey kids, time to go get you a squirt. And then, they're supposed to go get them a fucking squirt.
Of what?
you don't ask. Don't
Yeah,
tell.
no. You should elaborate on what the fuck that squirt is. I think.
Yeah,
that's
for
important.
sure.
Nope. Well, you should, but they're not doing that.
What are
No.
you talking about? Well, it's got to be an antiseptic or an bacterial or something.
Sure.
right?
I mean, you could say that.
Yeah, I am saying that.
Yeah, it's sticky.
You could
it's
say a lot of
liquid,
things.
You rub it on yourself.
Oh boy.
Problem is, who greenlit that phrase, dude? Why not just say, hey, kids, go wash your hands?
Instead of getting yourselves a squirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That was highly questionable. I reject it.
And then he said they also wanted everyone to do a dance. Cupid Shuffle comes on, you do a disinfectant dance. I'm like,
Is this the fucking Teletubbies?
yeah, I was like, first off, that's just cruel to suggest. You know what I mean? To make people do that. Tyree's like, no one's doing that. We're not doing that. I was like, it'd be pretty hard to have 7 plague doctors all in an exact plague doctor get up, plague doctor mask, that frilly hat, the fucking leather trench coat, and canes just come out to the Cupid Shuffle, dancing and shit, beating kids with canes. And then at the end, we say, we're the best doctors in Europe.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a really exciting time right there at the Trampoline Emporium. What's it called? Up in the Air?
I call it
close
urban
enough.
mouth.
Urban Air. Got it. Okay. Urban Air. Yeah. I think that's going to be great. I'm looking forward to your costume. That's going to be good. So that's coming up in the next week. Noah, how about you? What's coming up in the next week? Besides more introspection and doctor's appointments and so on and so forth.
Well, I got to finish applying for unemployment, or I did apply. I got to figure out if that's a thing I even get.
Well, you were laid off, right? You weren't fired.
It was a reduction in workforce layoff. The way it
Oh,
works.
then you get
they were
unemployment.
like, looking for volunteers, and I was like, I'll volunteer pretty much. And that's kind of how it worked.
You needed a vacation. You were working too hard.
Yeah, I'd agree. But yeah, so I got a lot of doctor. I'm going back to a chiropractor to get my hip looked at, and then he'll tell me that he or she will tell me they don't know what the fuck's going on, and then hopefully I'll get referred to
A real
somebody
doctor,
else.
like maybe
Yeah.
a horse doctor. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get a primary care physician too. There's a lot of doctor shit. A lot of
Yeah.
doctor shit coming up this week. I'm gonna
Well,
try to trim the cat's claws. I mean, that's like impossible because Frey just fucking bolts every time I try to like look at him.
Okay, so trimming the cat's claws. I will say this: you're lucky to have insurance. Good for you. Congratulations on having insurance.
Get
That's
yourself
smart.
some chloroform
No,
for the cat.
right for the cat, man. Right.
Well, and for yourself, obviously.
Well, I mean, it's the
Yeah,
best way to fall
You
asleep.
could be like that doctor from the first season of American Horror Story, the abortion one.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
The
about.
best way to fall asleep? I don't know. I actually think that the best way to fall asleep is like this.
Hello there, night owls. It's your old friends at a Shin Show, back for another evening of relaxation. We understand that while most of you feel an almost chemical compulsion, for which we are neither liable or responsible, to listen to our show at all hours of the day and night, that also means that it can be hard to get your hard-earned 8 hours of sleep. That's why our team is excited to announce our revolutionary new podcast sleeping aid. Introducing Uncle Funster's Storytime, our church-sanctioned method of laying our listeners to rest. With his warm, mellow tones and slow, hypnotic voice, you're guaranteed to drift off to the land of Nod as you're showered in impossibly monotonous stories, one right after the other. Had a stressful day? Let drowsiness wash over you as Uncle Funster regales you with mind-numbingly boring tales of agricultural journalism, riddled with unrelated side stories. Really craving that beauty rest? No one with a soul can maintain consciousness while multiple explanations of any and all vehicle operations in the Cold War are swimming in your ears. Especially not when there's those classic and time-consuming narrative deviations spicing things up. Even as I speak, I'm fighting off sleep when I recall Uncle Funster's exceptionally lengthy and tedious thesis on the inner workings of Congress. Folks, we've had an entire swarm of lab coats study Uncle Funster himself, and they've proven with their myriad and unquestionably legitimate tests that he possesses something inside him that forces non-psychopathic human beings to sleep. However, we're considerate of those who may not have access to his dulcet tones every night. That's why we're also offering Uncle Funster's Super Sleepy Time Night-Night tablets, made from a patented blend of his blood and Vicodin to be taken orally, anally, or intravenously. So don't hesitate, don't think, and don't let sleep elude you for one more second. Download Uncle Funster's Storytime right now, welcome him into your bedroom, and relax as he lures you into a deep and dreamless slumber.
Uncle Funster's Super Sleepy Time Night-Night tablets are not patented and have not been evaluated by the FDA. Not intended to diagnose, prevent, or cure any disease. Side effects may include nausea, vomiting, cluster headaches, cramping, bloat, contraction of a variety of bloodborne ailments, swollen tongue, gout, diarrhea, constipation, chemical dependency, blurred vision, vertigo, hair loss, and involuntary unconsciousness. Not affiliated with the Church of Universal Energy and the Infinite Multiverse.
All right, Sarah, I know that you thought that bit was kind of long. You can weigh in now and just go ahead. Just let us have it. Just let us have your unvarnished criticism of the bit. We know it was long. We know you didn't like it. Just let us have
I'm just going to go take a nap, dude.
it. That's fair. So what are you doing this week?
Well, I'm going to dig a fucking drainage situation in my backyard, buy a projector, and figure out my sound system. That's about it.
Well, what's this drainage situation? Drainage from what? Why do you need a new drainage system in your backyard?
Well, because when I built this patio, I built it 2-level. And
What do you mean? How can you build a patio 2-level?
Well, because you don't account for, because it's basically becomes a pool every time it rains. Okay, there's no grade to it, so I have to now, and also the way my yard sits, like it goes down into a bowl where my patio is. So
Okay.
we're gonna get some catch basins, and we're gonna fucking dig a trench and direct the water elsewhere.
Oh, the retaining wall didn't work, huh?
No, I mean it did. It worked a lot better, but there's still water that accumulates on the patio because it's too
Oh,
level.
yeah. I guess that doesn't have
and
anywhere to go.
and it's got to go somewhere. So
I see. So why don't you just go the whole hog and dig a swimming pool right now?
I mean, it basically is a swimming pool.
Yeah.
We-
I mean,
we-
so why not just finish the job, dig it out to about 3 feet on one end, 6 feet on another, go ahead and line it, with clay, and then maybe put down a plastic liner and then pour concrete over.
You got to put a body down there first, though.
What do you mean a body?
If you're pouring concrete, what better place to get rid of your bodies?
Oh, I see. Good point. Well, I mean, you are the only one that works at a place where someone has been murdered. So I can see why you'd think that.
Well, I doubt that.
I worked next to a place where someone was murdered.
What do you mean? Where?
Back when I worked at Hog Wild, there was the fucking...
Oh,
Well, the
yeah.
official story is that he just fell. This 24-year-old kid stuffed himself behind these freezers.
Yeah, I remember this.
and died.
Yeah. Right.
Years
one
and
does.
years ago, dude, like 10 years ago. And they just found his body like 3 years ago.
Right.
All fucking mummified and shit. It's one of
Yeah.
those things where it's like, hey, does no one see this giant red and green stain coming out from beneath the frozen
Yeah,
chicken
dude.
here? Like,
Oh,
did no one notice the smell of a rotting body just in the produce section or whatever the fuck?
No,
And the
no
kid
one-
was 24 years old, like kind of in the prime of his life, wasn't
Yeah.
disabled in any way.
Yeah, we remember that story now. Yeah. So that was sad. You did live next to or work next to a
Work,
murder
yeah.
scene. You did. But Sarah, that still remains the fact that Sarah's the only one who's actually worked at a place where a murder has taken place.
That we know of.
That's true. That's true. Could happen in a lot of different places.
Yeah.
Good point. All right. Well, Elsie, I know you're kind of on the floor because you're kind of over it, but yet I've got to ask you, what's on tap for this week? Have we even thought about what's on tap for this week?
It's a great pod. I'm just tired because we walked a lot and then mowed and weed eated, and it's a warm day. So I'm a little tired, but I think we're probably going to do, the same exact shit we've been doing every week for 3 months now.
Yeah, that's probably
If I had
true.
to guess.
Yeah, that's a good guess right there. I think that's what is on tap this week. I've got some schoolwork to do. Still in school. I'm a lifetime learner, so that's a thing that I'm doing. I'm learning for the lifetime. And then, we're probably going to produce some more bits, is what I think this week. I think we're going to do some more stuff.
I did just remember now that I've thought about it that summer solstice is on Saturday. So I'm going to celebrate that shit. I'm going to watch the sunrise and the sunset and do all sorts of, sun worshipy type
Hippy
things.
dippy shit.
what day is that? What day is that?
That's
On
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
And it's
Saturday.
also the new moon. So what?
Isn't
No
that the
shit.
longest day of the year?
It is.
You know what else you can do?
What?
You can stand an egg on its head.
I've heard that to be true, but I've never been able to do it. I think that's an urban legend.
You've
They
never
also
No,
say
I've
you
done
can
it.
do that at the equator, and no.
Yeah, we couldn't do it at the equator either.
Maybe you guys just have a shitty sense of balance.
Maybe.
Well, I do have vertigo.
It's true.
Well, you got shitty eggs.
Bad eggs, bad people who don't know how to stand eggs up, even under the most advantageous of circumstances. We're probably going to leave the egg manipulation
Out of it.
to, yeah, we will. We'll leave it to the experts.
We'll take video of Sarah doing it and make it go viral.
Oh, that's a great idea. It
I
really
am going to
is.
do it and send you guys a picture
Do it.
to prove
I'll-
it can be done.
I'll
We
look
aren't
forward to it.
scared. Do it.
No, yeah, do it.
I forgot some personal news. There's a chick coming down this weekend.
Oh,
That's-
did you
that's
break up
right.
with your girlfriend?
Oh yeah. I broke up with the girlfriend of 2 years. Well, she broke up, dude. She dumped me in a pretty brutal way. She was like,
dude.
yeah, she's like, I'm going to this internship. I'm leaving all my stuff here at your place that I've been living for a month. I'm gonna leave all my stuff and my cat here, and I'm gonna come pick it up later. And I was like, okay.
An internship? What?
Yeah,
That's-
she's like she's in Kansas right now trying to sell like educational materials door to door. And she's like, somebody called the cop. She like called me crying the fucking like 2 nights ago. Like,
She's
"Somebody
going
called the
door
cop."
to door selling shit. That's what she left you to do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well,
How bad a boyfriend do you have to be abandoned to be a door-to-door salesman?
I mean, that's
Rich-
what I'm
That's
thinking,
rich
right?
coming from you, Dad.
I gotta
Rich coming from
really,
you.
really, really suck. If she left me, the guy who said, how many ex-wives thinks I'm shitty? Fucking, you know what I mean?
God. Oh my God.
No, what it is that, some people find the allure of door-to-door salesmanship too attractive to ignore. We call those people insane people.
Well, no, it's
Or
not, and that's-
idiots.
the thing though is she's coming back to go to the University of Florida. She just plotted and decided to do this on the exact night. Not even that day, like the night right before I was going to bed before she left.
Yeah.
Wait, so she's like, hey, I'm leaving tomorrow to go sell medical
Well, no.
equipment.
I knew
door
the
to door.
internship was coming. Okay. But the dumping part was not what I knew was coming. The dumping part was like, oh, what the fuck? And then
She didn't.
so
What was the reason though? She's like, hey, I'm going on this internship, which we all knew and agreed about, but also,
I'm not coming back.
yeah, the reason was just like, well, I think we've had issues for a long time. Bye. And I was like, well, cool. We could have worked those out or something, but I guess not.
fuck her, dude. Go get you a new one. It's
I
fine.
already did.
Actually, well, yeah, as you said, you got another, but just don't get in a relationship with her. You know.
Well,
Stay
I
out of
think
it.
if she's coming down to Florida from Virginia, I think that ship sailed, son, to a
Yeah,
certain
man.
extent.
Yeah,
What?
she's coming to
What do you
stay
mean?
here.
Oh, like
She's-
coming
she
to
lives in
live there?
Virginia. She's
What?
not coming to live with me. She's just coming to visit.
Oh, that's how
Yeah,
it starts,
dude.
son. That's how it
No,
starts.
that's how it starts. If you're foolish, you don't need to. You don't need to let the seed grow beyond whatever you want.
Don't let any seed grow.
You've got a
The
a ladies' man's blood in you. You know what I'm saying? You don't need every shin has
shin
that
charisma.
thing where we think that we're never gonna get another woman again, and then then we do.
I've never heard of that thing, son.
Well, the point is you don't
Because
want
you
to.
move on quickly.
Yeah, you find a woman, and then you're like, okay, well, better lock this down, and then you do.
Right.
Ah, it's super easy.
Time and time again. In my case.
We all, mine too. One right after the other.
Well, and Noah's apparently as well. Sarah, you're the lone exception.
I'm also the only girl, so what do you want from me?
Nothing. I think that you're fantastic. You're terrific. All right. Well, until next week, it was great to talk to you, kids. I sure love you.
Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Love you too, Father.
Love you.
Love you. Bye. A Shin Show is a production of Shinfluence. It features the voices and opinions of the Shin family, whose opinions are exclusively and entirely their own. Catch us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, or wherever you get podcasts, and we'll see you next week.
Or in hell.